Well, today we're going to go back in time. We're going to take a nostalgic trip. Lafayette Radio Electronics, you remember those? Well, these are some of the years that I have saved. 1967, 1969, there's another 69, 71, and 72. But we're not going to be talking about those years. We're going to talk about the first catalog, or one of the first catalogs I got, 1963. I saved these books. Can't save everything, but I did save these. I probably have had a 1962 Lafayette, but I probably have thrown it out many years ago. So we're going to have to start with the 63 because that's the earliest one that I have. Now here is some original paperwork of something that I ordered from Lafayette Radio Electronics, 111 Jericho Turnpike, Syosset, Long Island, New York. And I believe the stamps were only a nickel back then. Those were the good old days when coffee was also 5 and 10 cents a cup. Okay, this was ordered when I lived in New London back in 63, I believe. I don't want to really destroy the paperwork by tearing all this stuff off of here. TE22, I believe that was my audio generator. You had to fill out your own order forms at that time. $32.50. The shipping weight was 10 pounds. You had to round it off to the nearest 10 pounds. $15 deposit COD. I used to order stuff COD back then. The money order enclosed is for deposit on COD, $15. And what they would do here is send credits if you sent too much. I don't know, I hung on to these papers here. And 1964 is when I ordered the TE22. That used to be the audio generator that was sitting up on top of this unit right here. And I since had sold that. Can't keep everything. Well, this is just an example. I don't know. I'd like to keep stuff like this. I don't know. Maybe it's a fire hazard. Anyways, I even got my old CB license back then. I don't even know what, let's see. 1963, KBC 7551. Back then you had to have a license to have a citizen band radio. So that was 1963. That's when I started in citizen band. I was in that for a couple of years and got bored with it and got out of it. All right, let's take a look at this Lafayette catalog here. Would you like to look through this catalog with me? Okay, let's get going here, and I'll show you some of the good old stuff they used to have years ago. Look at these nice stereos they used to have. These speakers you used to be able to buy. And these amplifiers. And look at this one. 200 watt all transistor solid state. I love looking back on these magazines. My wife tells me I live in the past. Tell you what, back in those days, things were a lot better. You made less money, but you got a lot more for your money. Look at this. That's nice. Look at the size of them output transformers. Yeah, there's some mighty fine stuff in this catalog. I could probably spend all day going through this. I'm not going to do that, of course, but I would like to show you something along what I ordered years ago. And we'll get to it eventually. like garage turntables, needles and cartridges, all kinds of good stuff. Tape recorders, $89.50, reel to reel. You got your Wallen sack. Can't beat that. There's a little transistorized audio generator. You even got your semiconductors. They sold transistors. Yeah, they were a little pricey, but you got to remember they weren't out too long. I mean, transistors are relatively new. Your diodes, though, were priced pretty reasonable. Tubular capacitors, Sprague, they had all kinds of good stuff. All kinds of goodies. TV antennas, of course. Of course, the good old ICO test equipment. This is where I got my ICO 232 VTVM and my ICO 324 signal generator. They even carried the Hickok line here. 539C. What were they getting for that? Read that here. Oh wow, $485. That was a lot of money back then. Model 800 Hickok. Let's see what they were getting for that. $179.50. Well, I'll tell you what. You try to buy that on eBay now, it'll probably be 3 times that price. I don't find eBay to be cheap at all on this kind of stuff. Your mackerel there, Andy. 1995, Lafayette TE15. That was my very first piece of test equipment that I bought and to send away, but I didn't realize it was only 20 bucks. 20 bucks then, you know, was quite a bit of money. But I had one of these. I also had one of these, but long since broke. But yeah, that was my first tube tester. Lafayette TE15 emission tube tester. The very first piece of test equipment I bought. This is not the audio generator I got. Mine was the TE22, which I showed you in here, and I ordered it in 1964. This is 63 catalog, so I don't have a 64 catalog, so this must have been the model before it. Here's what I'm looking for. My first walkie-talkie, HE29B, Lafayette. I bought one. My buddy down 2 blocks away bought one, and another kid on the other side of the street bought one, and we were having a ball with these things. They did long whip antennas, and they used to get broke all the time. We put a loading coil on it, made a shorter antenna. On these here, we used to modify the modulation. There was a modification for these in one of the magazines, I don't remember where. You add an audio output transformer, hook it to the speaker, because the speaker was used as a microphone, as well as the, you know, where you can hear from. And we'd put that transformer in, I think it's like 500 ohm center tap to 8 ohms, and it increased the modulation at least like 50%. Those are the days. I don't have that walkie-talkie anymore. Don't know whatever happened to it. Anyways, that's our little trip down memory lane on the Lafayette Radio Electronics. Hope you enjoyed my video.